Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kara here with another Guardian Tales video, and in today's video we're going to be doing a news update for the new Korean patch that's about to drop here soon. It's going to be 2 weeks for us on the North American server, very soon on the Korean server. Due to some translation here, we'll be able to see what's going on here and get excited for what's to come. And before we get into this video, if we can get a like on this video, that'd be awesome. Also subscribe to the channel for more Guardian Tales content. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. The first thing is going to be the new character, God of Harvest and Kamael. He actually looks really interesting. And we'll kind of go over his kit. We don't know his party buff. We don't know his animations. So I don't want to get too far into breaking down the character, but at the same time, it will be kind of nice to kind of go over it here. But the big thing about God characters, though, that I want to remind everyone is way back when they did a season 2 update, they did a roadmap. This new God system never got released yet. And a lot of these characters ended up getting released. So Pilldevice is obviously a character that we got in the very beginning that you can get for free. And then Veronica is this silhouette. This is way before Veronica ever got announced, and her silhouette was there. Then you see Eleanor's silhouette is here. So I believe this one right here on the right side is Kamael. And this other one is going to be, we don't know who this person is either. Want to say due to this faith system, so holy relics have been added to the rewards obtained from adventure, world exploration, and events. Relics will raise a given hero's devotion to their respective god. There are 5 gods, 5 faith levels, and you can reset that faith to redistribute, depending on probably which characters it's going to actually benefit from. This is probably going to be a pretty rare currency. Another key thing about this feature is depending on a hero's disposition, there's a difference in divine affinity for each faith. So I bet there's certain characters that are going to align with like an earth element version or water one, and it doesn't matter how much of that currency you actually put in that character, they probably are not going to get as much. It's going to be a nerfed amount. So I think this is going to be a really big system in the future that I just want to remind everyone is coming, because a lot of this stuff, if we look at this, all this stuff came through. Like we have merch here, we have world exploration, like a lot of this stuff. We got replay system they talked about back here, more guild content that they actually released. Master tier was something that didn't exist when this was released and now is in the game. So this is a really good indicator that this is going to happen. And another god character is the reason why I'm bringing it up too is we don't know the system, and maybe if we knew what the system is, we're going to look back on the release of Veronica and Eleanor and be, hey, these are characters you absolutely need to pull. Because I think also it's kind of indicative of how big the system is that they're going to be including one guaranteed character so people don't feel left out when the system comes out. Because if they don't have Pilldevice, then these characters are actually a really big deal, people are going to be kind of upset. I'm not saying that he's a must pull, but these god style characters might end up being very sought after, and it might just be obvious, like, okay, due to this system. And then also, this is pure speculation. I just want to say this is pure speculation, that I like to err on the side of caution when it comes to these potentially. And then, for example, Veronica is kind of a niche character, but she's kind of getting boosted up. And then Eleanor is a very good character, in my opinion. So this is one that I could recommend. And then I've been using Pilldevice, and I think Pilldevice is actually pretty good, but I don't have it tied. She's free, or relatively free. Every account's guaranteed to get her. So talking about how good she is doesn't really matter. It's more about the characters you need to pull for that I really want to try to have an evaluation for. I just like to bring this up whenever a new god character is announced, because it could be that even if this character is good but not great, he might still be worth pulling for because of the god system. But again, this is all speculation. I don't like to speculate too much on this channel. I just want to prepare people so people don't feel left out if the god system is actually pretty necessary and you missed out because you chose not to pull for him, even if you could have. Just want to bring that up before we get into the kit, before we think about how good he is. He might end up just being worth pulling for, is all I'm trying to say. Now let's actually, here, let me do a quick translation on this right here, and we'll be able to kind of get an idea of what his kit is going to be. Okay, boom, now it's translated. Looks like he takes staff. There's a couple things we don't know. We don't know his animations. We don't know his party buff, which is going to be a big deal in determining how good this character is. But he's an earth character, and let's read his kit. Let's see what we got here and see if he's actually, in the ballpark of being a good character. Because the last few characters I think we've been able to evaluate pretty well, but we don't know the full story until we see the rest of it. General attack is going to be absorbs enemy health and deals damage. In the final attack, fire condensed marbles to create a body of allied power, restore power, and 20 enemy range defenses for 3 seconds. Percentage reduces 3 seconds. Jesus, this translation is horrible. I don't know what that means, and I don't know how to translate this any better, but it looks like he's going to be another character that reduces elemental amount, restore power, and 20 enemy ranged defense. So it looks like it reduces range defense percentage, which I think is kind of interesting. And then summons elementals with 220% damage per second around the target, deals damage, restores 20% of health. It says stamina, but I'm pretty sure it restores 20% of health of allied power. Negative effect, turn them off. Increases life cycle damage and recover 25%. He seems very similar to Eleanor. Increases life cycle damage. Life cycle, is that earth damage? And recovery by 25%. I am not sure. I'm sorry, guys. This translation is just complete trash, in my opinion. I have no idea. We'll know more here soon when it comes to the next patch, but this is all I got to work with, and this just seems horrible. So I'm just going to end it here, but in the next video, I'll definitely talk about how good I think the character is. I think there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to this patch here, so let's talk about that. Looking at this earlier, there's nothing too crazy here. It's a pretty typical patch, just like our last one, but the last one at least gave us the finish of the tower here, where we got to finish the campaign, which I think was fantastic, by the way. I think the last two chapters have been really great, like 12 and 13. I thought have been really good, and I don't want to spoil anything unless I'm doing a specific video talking about it, but I really enjoyed both of those chapters story-wise. And so then the passages didn't seem too crazy hard. I know my account's kind of in-game, but they didn't seem crazy hard to me. I don't know if people are struggling with the passages. Let me know in the comments if these are on the level of World 11 level of difficulty on the passages, but I think they were pretty doable. And then the typing was, it was kind of nice, a change of pace. It wasn't always like dark all the time. It was, a mixture of earth and light, which I think is kind of nice, that you're not so tunnel vision on just one type of character that's going to excel. Being hard stuck on light characters has been kind of frustrating. Story replay is added, which is kind of nice. I think this is great, being able to go back, especially with the story kind of picking up. I really want them to be able to replay, around like that 6, 7, 8, 9 range. I would like to be able to replay those, just kind of shore up what I know about the story. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully that happens pretty soon. And then we got the typical Camazone Land patch here where they update stuff. They're going to be changing artifacts. Feel free to read all this stuff. This is, nothing I really want to break down specifically unless I'm talking about Camazone, but they're going to be changing everything out like they always do here. And then we got a couple error corrections and improvements to heroes and exclusive weapons. So issue of intermittent damage reduction in space-time storms at frame drop or low frame rates is improved. That's nice, on Liberator there for Future Princess. We got the typical co-op map has been changed. And then the edit text, the typo has been, so the whole bunch of these are typos. So I want to say this is due to the unspecified virus of unknown origin, but they're changing everything from virus to bacteria on here. And I think it's due to that. It's probably better for, I would prefer to talk about a bacteria, for YouTube than a virus anyway. So I think that's better, but that's probably why it was a typo in my opinion. And then World 13, we got the new collection bonus, which we always do. Early beginner mission improvements. The first hero summon beginner mission will be changed to the initial hero summon beginner mission. A new one-time hero summon beginner mission has been added. I'm assuming this is just to make it easier to reroll, which is already pretty easy to do. If you want to just spam rerolls, you could totally do that. And then I think they're just making it easier, so you're not sitting there forever doing that, which I think is a nice quality of life change for people. Okay, here's kind of a nice so Evolution Stone dungeon UI improvement. In the Evolution Stone dungeon, a check mark is displayed above the Evolution Stone icon of a hero that meets the following conditions. Hero of the selected Evolution Stone achieves 5 stars. Okay, so that's cool that when they're done, and you could move on from them, and it just makes it a little easier to see that. Then we get a whole bunch of bug improvements if you guys want to read those. It's hard to evaluate any of the new packages without seeing the actual prices on them, but the one that's kind of interesting to me is the summoning controllers plus stamina. I'm always a big fan of stamina. This is like $10 to $15. I would totally buy that, but if it's anything more than that, I probably won't. Thinking about it, because it's 30 summon controllers, is probably like $29.99. They renewed emphasis on putting in a whole bunch of option change stones in the shops, which just bothers me when games make their own problems and then fix it by selling you the solution. Raid does this all the time. I don't like that. It's a big option change stones are a big problem, and like, okay, we got the fix for you here, buy it. Really frustrating. And then we got the Autumn Awakening Sun package. These things are always like $30. I don't really like to talk about the paid stuff on this game. We got a new raid coming. We got a bingo board. I like the last bingo board, so I'm definitely gonna be once I see how good the bingo board is, I'm definitely gonna do a video on that, because there was a lot of good freebies on the last bingo board. So let's see if it's up to the same level as the previous one, which would be nice to see. And we got new costumes, and that's about it. I really like this one though, this staff one. I ended up buying this last time it came through, and I think it's badass. That one's really cool. This gun one, I don't know if this is new, but I think this one's kind of cool. These were like the creator, or like people submitted these in, I believe. These skins. And I like the Future Princess. Oh yeah, the Garam one's dope. And I like that they made them really affordable. I made them only 300. Well, that's going to do it for this patch. Nothing too crazy here. Definitely expect more. Definitely got more videos coming when it comes to this. A couple of things that we don't know that are going to be really interesting are just how good he is once we know his full kit and all his party buffs and stuff like that. We got a new bingo board event that's going to have a lot of freebies on it. But other than that, nothing too crazy when it comes to this patch. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are most excited about when it comes to this guy. And with that, guys, I'm out. Peace.